In my last video, I showed you how to go from a finished design in Fusion 360 into the manufacturing workspace so you can create a toolpath using CAM. This produces G-code that you can then run on a CNC machine and produce your part in metal. So today's video is going to be all about taking this G-code, running it on the CNC, and making a few upgrades to the CNC. Alright, now that I've got the G-code loaded onto the controller, I can go outside and fire up my CNC. So I found this mini fridge out behind my house. I was thinking of a way that I could use it. Part of the reason I was rushing through my programs last time was it's kind of loud and I don't want to be making so much noise. But if I can make this about as quiet as, say, a outdoor air conditioning unit, then I think it'll be fine to run for extended periods of time. I'm going to be trying out these Speed Tiger end mills. These are 3/32 of an inch and they're carbide with 4 flutes, flat end. Uh-oh. So I was tightening the screw right here and it stripped out. I'm going to try replacing it with this band clamp. Alright, the motor seems pretty solid now. Alright, I think we're in good shape to start the machine, but first I'm going to finish my sound insulation project. I'm going to put some additional padding in here, and this way the CNC shouldn't be touching any of the walls directly. And that'll help isolate the vibrations. That's pretty nice. Can't even hear it. I'm going to put some cutting fluid in there. And I'll start my G-code. Now I'm going to close this up. And it's super quiet now. I'm going to move this to flat ground so the cutting fluid will stay put. And then I'll just leave it. I just realized my boom mic was doing a really good job of picking up the sounds in front of it, so it was making the machine still sound kind of loud. So I switched over to this lavalier mic, so you can get some perspective on how loud it really is. Alright, this is the door closed, door open. I think this mini fridge makes a great host for this small CNC machine. This is what it's constructed of. It's got foam on the inside and thin plastic on the outside, and it's a perfect material choice for dampening sounds. It's also good at thermal insulation. Those two characteristics tend to go hand in hand. This machine doesn't have a cord. It was pulled out probably for scrap metal, someone looking around the neighborhood to find some copper cables to turn in for money. If this was a working refrigerator, I could leave it on and it would be cooling off the part, just having a nice air-conditioned area in there so it's a constant temperature. That helps with cutting consistency. So overall, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I can leave this running all day and no one would even notice. It's quieter than the air conditioner. So these speeds and feeds are producing a much better surface finish on the parts. You can see those clean edges on the holes. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So I just checked on the G-code that I made, and it looks like it's saying it'll take 7 hours to finish. Alright, so the program's done running. Looks like everything went according to plan. Alright, so let's look at our results. The end mill still looks like it's in good shape. These Carbide end mills hold up really well, and I'd recommend them. If we look at the part that we cut out, it looks like all of our features are there. If we look at the back side, you can see it's kind of poking through a little bit here. Now I'm just going to cut the part out the rest of the way. Alright, and here's our final part. It actually looks really good. So in order to get this slug out, I'm going to put a washer on each side of it and clamp onto it. So that way I'm just holding on to the slug. Now I'll bend this back and forth and it should fatigue out. Alright, and here's our finished part. I cleaned it up with some emery cloth, and the flange style pillow block bearing fits in there just right. I needed a little reinforcement on my robotic leg project because I don't want that thing falling apart while I'm riding my bike. The surface finish on these parts look pretty good. What are my takeaways here? I think if you can find a refrigerator or a deep freezer that's no longer working, it works great as an enclosure for a CNC or maybe even a 3D printer. I want to thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more.